go. It's getting deep, that yogurt. Hillary Clinton's former IT guy, Bryan Pagliano, facing questions today about his involvement in setting up that notorious private server. But of course, he invoked the Fifth Amendment to avoid possible self-incrimination, and the judge has referred to the FBI probe as a criminal investigation, as opposed to Team Clinton's nicer term of just a security review, that's all. Let's ask Kimberly Guilfoyle about this high-stakes case. Yeah. Of course, she's the co-host of The Five on the Fox News channel. She joins me now. Welcome back, Kimberly.
Hi, great to be with you.
Bryan Pagliano, man of mystery.
Man of mystery.
The FBI grants him some form of immunity. We don't know exactly what that is because the judge put it under seal. And now here he is in the Judicial Watch case, invoking the Fifth Amendment 125 times. What gives?
Yeah, he had a prepared statement, which is what happens commonly when someone is under advice of counsel, saying they're going to assert their Fifth Amendment, right against self-incrimination, and so that there is absolutely no mess up whatsoever, and that it is stated and repeated exactly the same way for each question. You'll have it on a card. On advice of counsel, I assert my Fifth Amendment.
Blah, blah, blah,
blah, blah, blah. So any of the good stuff would be under seal. That's the problem. But, I mean, really, what are they going to be able to get? I mean, obviously, this guy's, like, clammed up, like, shut down shop, and that's what's happened. It's frustrating. When you think about it, Judicial Watch is the one that's bringing this all forward. Wouldn't you think that the government would have a healthy interest in monitoring their own behavior and seeing if there has been transgressions or violations about people under the public employ? Yeah. But it has to take a group like this to try to get to the bottom of it, and it's frustrating because this whole administration, put forth, it's all the tenet of its platform was, we're going to be transparent. We're not going to play games like other people have done who, preceded us in this office, and that's what you should expect and get. And instead, no. You have Hillary Clinton running for commander-in-chief, and everyone else around her is running for, the Fifth Amendment. That's what they're running for.
Exactly. Yeah. They're running for high-priced lawyers and the exits. We hear that Pagliano was a good witness for the FBI with that immunity agreement. And also, one last thing about this, very quickly. I know that pleading the Fifth in a civil case can actually be incriminating versus when you do it in a criminal case.
Yeah, that's the thing. So it's very tricky, but I'm sure he has great lawyers on his side, and you know what, you want to try to cooperate if you can to avoid any further trouble in terms of a criminal investigation, and him being in trouble or having to do some time. So it's like, okay, listen, we're going to take care of what we need to do, but if you have information you should give, he should give it, but then some of that might be under seal because it could be things that are protected or secretive or, problematic.
Lord only knows what if maybe he was squawking like a parrot. Well, all we know is that a hacker called Guccifer 2.0 claims to have stolen a dossier of Hillary Clinton-related documents from the Democratic National Committee's computers and has published them online. So, Kimberly, what's in the files?
Well, that's the thing, and people were making fun because maybe he should have consulted a PR firm for the name, like the Guccifer, but nevertheless, he's no joke because he said that he was able to breach this repeatedly on multiple occasions, and that even a low-level hacker would be able to access Hillary Clinton's Secretary of State's files, which is such a huge flag right there for national security and foreign policy. So the problem is the things that he's saying, let's see if ultimately it comes to fruition. We're able to get some of that information, but some of it may be top secret, can't be accessed, can't be made public, so that's another issue.
Is Donald Trump going to pay for some of this opposition research?
I mean, can you imagine?
Yes.
I hear he's in talks. He makes great deals. He's doing a deal with the goose.
He does. He knows hackers. He knows the right language to use, and I'm sure he would like to get his mitts on some of that stuff.
Of course, and if it's anything about, China's been able to get into it or Russia's been able to get into it, I mean, if Guccifer can get into it, and that's why he was like, hey, I've got the goods. He must know, because that's why he said, go ahead and let them bring me back here. You only do that if you've got something to trade.
Yeah, and I believe that he certainly does, because the NSA and the FBI warned the DNC and other political groups, politicians and operatives that they were able to penetrate their networks and to be careful because they saw other foreign hackers poking around in the exact same way.
Yeah, I mean, it's really unbelievable. You think, and then the reward would be, the big prize at the end of the day is then she gets to take the Oval. Because she compromised.
Something is deeply, deeply wrong here. Thank you for your insight.
Yeah, it's great to see you.
Oh, I love having you as my legal counsel.
Oh, it's fun.
I'll never plead the Fifth.